Hey Aries, I hope you guys are doing great today. I'm doing an extra read this month. I did the last 2 weeks of September last week, but a lot of people reached out that they wanted more Mercury retrograde messages because a lot of readers are talking about how powerful this is, and they wanted me to do a little bit more on that. So I was like, all right, I'll do a quick poll, not as long as I normally do. And we'll just discuss, a couple of things. I mean, yeah, the Mercury, so Mercury, it's going to be retrograde in your 7th house from the 27th till like the beginning of November. In that Libra energy, which is ruled by Venus, that 7th house has to do with marriage, any sort of strong interpersonal connection, actually, right? It's not only marriage, it's any serious relationship, anybody that you have like a shared soul contract with, or it's also business partner, anyone that you have any sort of, because it is the energy of the house of contracts. It's also others, right? So maybe if you have a clientele or anybody like that, that's 7th house energy. So Mercury retrograde is going to be happening there. It's going to be squaring Pluto 24 degrees in Capricorn in your 10th house, which has to do with your career, your public reputation, your standing in the world, and also your long-term goals. So some of you with that Mercury retrograde, Mercury, remember, is our mental, right? What are we thinking? How are we communicating? When Mercury's retrograde, it doesn't mean that things are stopping. It just means that we need to refilter things, right? We need to think a little more clearly, almost slowly, before we say anything. We need to reconsider, reevaluate, right? Revisit things having to do with that 7th house. Some of you may be in that space of revisiting things within a relationship. Some of you even may be considering, should I get back with an ex? Should I not get back with an ex? And sort of like, perhaps though, because Mercury is retrograde, being of two minds, right? When it comes to that. Now, that's going to be, again, it's going to be squaring that 10th house Pluto, which is all about transformation. But remember now, Pluto's in that house of Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is about time. There's transformation, but it's probably not going to happen right now. So that could be a little bit of a frustrating jam for you guys, right? But in that same house, we also have the Mars and Sun, and the Sun. Remember, wherever the sun is hanging out, that's where our focus is. So that focus for many of you is going to be on your business contracts, those close soul connections. For many of you, it's going to be on your marriage, but it's going to be trining Jupiter in your 11th house. It's going to be actually a grand trine between Jupiter and then the North Node, the Gemini North Node in your 3rd house. So sort of have this energy going like, that 7th, 11th, and 3rd house. So what does that mean? Well, Mars is that warrior energy. And so there's a lot of focus and fighter energy, right, in that space, in that 7th house. And a trine means a very beautiful alignment with that energy of Saturn, which is about not yet. No, this could be great, but you just have to look at things differently. Not yet. But it's beautiful because even though it's like, hold on, wait, not yet, whatever is on the other side of it, because it's in a trine, whatever you're working on here is going to go beautifully and be very long lasting. So this is excellent for any sort of negotiating in any kind of business deal, because 11th house has to do with your salary and goals and gains, and it also has to do with friends and where it is that you see. It's like kind of like your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan. Right? So the beautiful alignment there. So it's, to me, I feel like there's going to be this energy of you kind of not focusing so short term. There's going to be this long-term energy. And because it's also trining Gemini North Node, which is all about leaving a gift in that 3rd house. Now, even though that 3rd house is ruled by Mercury, I feel like this can end up being beautiful to manifest anything for those Aries who are trying to work out any sort of contract situation with siblings or extended family. This trine is really great. For those of you who are trying to figure out any sort of, obviously, marital situation about where it is that you're going, communication can get better here, even though there might still be some fogginess because Mercury is going to be retrograde. You're going to feel the movement forward, right? Because there's such a drive in you to get something out, right? This could also have to do with any sort of contract that ends up pushing your life forward in a way that requires signing on the dotted line, right? So all of these things can end up manifesting for you. But I do see it as as a positive thing, even though you have all that energy in that 7th house. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to end up being a good thing for you at the end of the day, right? We also, I'm going to say, where is Chiron? Chiron's hanging out in your 1st house, of course, right? With that Mars energy. So it's sitting opposite Venus right now. We did talk about that last week, but I just kind of wanted to remind myself of that, right? Because that 8th house is very much a relationship house as well. It's how you show up as a we. It has to do with merging, sex, intimacy, sharing resources, all of that. And it's opposing Uranus retrograde rather is in your 2nd house, and then that Chiron energy, is opposing that 7th house energy. So I just feel like whatever's happening here is going to ultimately be healing for you. Now, some of you are going to need to release. There's going to have to be this release in an energy and something that's toxic, that's not working. But I feel like it's going to be very supported. Like, I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of drama involved in it, if that makes sense. Even if it may be painful, there's not going to be a lot of drama, because it's going to be so, whatever's not working out for you, you're going to be very like, of course it's not working out. Of course I can't stay in this. You know, and it's like that sadness but no regret, almost like that 8 of Cups energy, because you're realizing that, you know, whatever's not working out in your life at this point, it's not working out. So it's time to try a different path, a different strategy. So we have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, coming into this, I mean, you're very focused on investing your time wisely, right? And being very consistent in your efforts, and wanting to feel like there's something on the other side. You don't want to waste your time. So a lot of you are very focused on increasing your growth. So some of you, increasing prosperity, financial growth, obviously, for some of you. Anything with a partner, growing, right? But whatever it is that you're looking to grow, you have to know that wherever you're going, right? This is in the recent past, you're going to have to work a lot harder than you either thought you had to, or that you had up to this point, right? That's going to be the situation for many of you. And then, of course, for some of you, if you're dealing with a person, this is a different interpretation for the Knight of Coins. This is being with an energy that really is, you know, at the end of the day, very, very there for you, right? Very dependable, has your back, all of that. But you feel like there's something missing, where maybe you feel like your interests are not properly aligned, or you know, maybe it's not the best personality match, or maybe they're too slow to share their feelings, or they're just not into trying new things the way you are, right? Because you guys are in Aries, so you like to try new things, you like to try different strategies, you know, because you're the Emperor, right? So, you know, it's kind of like to, you know, throw things out there and try different things. But you might be dealing with a situation that feels a little left of center. Now, right now, you feel like you're in this space, though, where you're putting in a lot of hard work, really believing that it's going to ultimately pay off. You're trying very hard to be patient, which is nice, right? And you know underneath it all, whatever you're involved in there's a strong potential for success, right? And you don't want to give up on something. You don't. Like, I feel like that's where you are right now. You don't want to give up on something, but what's challenging you is the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is a very taking care of business kind of thing, right? This is a very reliable and supportive energy. The challenge here could be the idea of marriage. It could be your marriage, your literal marriage. It could be the idea of getting married. It could be your finances between the two of you could be a challenge. Your sex life could be a situation right now that you're needing to deal with, or maybe you're even struggling with fertility issues right now. Could certainly be it, because it's coming up as a challenge. For others of you, though, you may be in a space where you're involved in this situation and you want to create for yourself. You want to take care of your body, your mind, your soul, your finances. You just want to feel whole. You really do. You just want to kind of bring it all together. And you're being very patient. You're not wanting to give up, but you are starting to get tired of the wait. You certainly are, because this is your challenge. Because the Queen of Pentacles is arriving there, and you're like, okay, I'm patiently waiting. Come on now, that kind of thing. Now we have the Page of Wands. I could make Page of Swords rather. Beautiful card this is. Page of Swords, personification of air. So this tells me some sort of useful information is going to be coming in. And you may be getting help from people around you to further your ambition. So this could indicate maybe some of you are getting a job, or some sort of contract is coming your way, or some sort of agreement with some situation that you've been trying to work out. Anything like that. Now remember, the pages always incite a new cycle. Swords are truth and air and communication. So again, this could be sitting down and having an air clearing kind of conversation, or this could just be you thinking, because this could be a very internal energy as well. You in a new space of thinking about this next cycle in your life very differently than where you've been, you know. But working with that, where are things right now? Right now they're in the Six of Swords, Mercury and Aquarius. So there's this idea of detaching. So some of you may be just in this space of sort of daydreaming about just a change in location, a change of job, detaching from the toxicity in any relationship that you're having, because this can manifest more mentally than physically initially, although some of you may be literally just sort of detaching yourself and allowing yourself some space to do some internal work and some space away to just heal. But a lot of you may still be sleeping next to that person, or still be working with that in that job every day, whatever it is, but you may be in this space where you're sort of detaching to figure out what it really is that you want at the end of the day. Now, the recommended approach here, we have the Queen of Swords. So the Queen of Swords, remember, swords again are air and truth. This is a Virgo and Libra energy. Libra's an air sign. So very motivated to find out the truth and the psychological motivation of what is going on within a certain situation. So this could be with your spouse, with anyone that you're in a relationship with, some sort of situation that's going on with a job, or what's going on with some sort of offer. You being very strong, right? I mean, the energy is suggesting here that you be strong. You might feel like you're dealing with some sort of adverse situation. Be determined, stand strong, and focus on the truth of the situation. Truth, not, you know, what you think or assumptions or anything like that, but the truth of the situation. Now, an energy that you're dealing with is a Four of Cups. So you might be dealing with somebody who, very, very interesting energy here. I mean, first of all, you might be dealing with somebody who's very disillusioned about something that's going on with you, or feeling very restless, or you're at least perceiving them to be rather apathetic about being involved with you. If it's not in the relationship, maybe in business or something, or maybe they're not sure if it's the right thing, and they could be in this space. It's like, oh, how did I get myself into this situation? And I don't think it's going to work out because of A, B, and C, and I just don't know, that kind of thing. And why do things seem to work out for other people and not for me? That kind of energy, right? And so that's sort of like what I feel like you may be dealing with. But you're trying to process their thinking, because you might be dealing with somebody who's feeling rather sorry for themselves, or maybe not seeing their situation through a very clear, optimistic lens at this point. Doesn't make them a bad person, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they just may be feeling kind of down about how things are rolling out right now, right? Having some sort of connection to do with you. You know, maybe business is not doing well, or, you know, not feeling as connected in the relationship, whatever the case is. Now, we have, what is your psychological block here, is the Queen of Cups. This is Gemini and Cancer energy, and this is a very highly emotionally intelligent energy, right? Not afraid of intimacy when it's positively aspected. What it takes to make something happen. When Gemini is conversation, Cancer is about all fourth house stuff: home, roots, family, self-care, your emotional foundation, the idea of children as well, right? The idea of mothering. So we have the Queen of Cups here as the block. So there can be some sort of block having to do with fertility. There could be some sort of block having to do with some sort of situation that's going on within a home or about a home. Maybe if you're investing, or something going on about the home, buying a home, selling a home. You might be feeling very insecure as well, right? The fact that it's in your block, and this is about a conversation about what you need to feel grounded, rooted, and safe and secure. So maybe you feel very insecure and vulnerable about any of these areas as well. But it could just be in general, right? Your ability to feel very safe and secure in the house, in your metaphorical home or your literal home. Okay. Nine of Swords. This is like a bugged out card, right? From this stack. This is the Mystic Moments Tarot. You guys ask me a lot. So Nine of Swords, yeah. So it's anxiety, overwhelm, like trouble sleeping. Some of you might be struggling with some depression in the near future, just not responding well to the stress of something, not because so much of the situation, it's like your way out of it or through it is not clear to you. You're just not, it's like you're not sure how to handle something. It looks like you want something, but you don't want it the way it is. But you don't want to be without it. So you would like to balance it. So you're trying to engage in it in a way where you're trying to manifest something. But then I feel like you're going to be in this space, this Mars in Gemini, where you're going to be in this argument with yourself. Because Mars is that warrior planet. And when it's in Gemini, right? Gemini's thoughts. It's our mental space. So it's going to be like, where do you belong? You know, and Gemini is also one of the energies of truth, right? Gemini and Sagittarius axis is the axis of truth. So it's like, where do you belong in your life? What should you be doing? Where, you know, and then you being like, I don't know, I'm not sure. Very internal energy though. And then we have the final outcome, the Ten of Pentacles. This Ten of Pentacles is about family and maturity and a deepening of commitment and shared values and property and legacy. I mean, just even looking at that card, it's like sharing property, sharing value, sharing that commitment, deepening. Very interesting though. I want to just pull and clarify on here. Okay, Knight of Cups. All right, I get it. So we have Aquarius and Pisces energy. Yeah. So it does seem like when you're like, I'm feeling really anxious, I don't know what the right thing to do is, some sort of proposal is going to come in. Some sort of proposal that's going to speak to your emotional space. So I like this. So some sort of proposal is going to come in. It's going to help alleviate your anxiety, and it's going to bring you into the Ten of Pentacles space, which is really beautiful because it's very partnered. There are other people involved. It's a deepening and a maturing. So it's really nice. It's nice for business. It's nice for your bank account. It's nice. It's beautiful for family, for growing a family, all of that stuff. So you might be feeling some sort of anxiety here, Aries. And I'm wondering if it's not something that's based in the past that you're just afraid is going to end up rearing its head again. You know, maybe, but in a different under a different guise. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like to me. It does feel like that. But because we have that Mars Sun trining that Saturn, trining that Gemini North Node, I just feel like there's some sort of positive communication is coming in, but you're not going to be sure what to do with it. But whatever's on the other side of this is going to be very long lasting because it's in this beautiful grand trine with Saturn. And Saturn's a pain in the ass while we're going through with him. But whatever he creates, it lasts a long time because he rules age. He rules time, Chronos. He rules age. So, and we want that, right, in a lot of things. So it's like, you know, he really is what we need to actually bring something to the point of, I'm not going to say perfection because nothing's perfect, but to being the best and the strongest that it could be. And then we get that world energy, right? Where we learned our lessons and now we're manifesting something really positive. Okay, so now I'm just going to pull a couple of cards for those of you who are in separation, okay? So I'm just going to pull 3 of these across, and then I'm going to clarify with 3 of the Island Time Wellness, and then 3 of my homemade oracle. Okay, I feel like somebody was very reactive in something here. As it says, I couldn't handle your words when you were upset with me. It was too painful. And then clarifying that is date, meeting somebody new. Dating, getting back out there. But then we have, I'm now feeling the fallout of my actions. I should have believed in you. You always had my best interests at heart. And that's being clarified by acts, breakup, separation, stopping the pattern, silent treatment, abandonment. And then that's being clarified by, I wear a mask in this relationship because I don't think you will like the real me. I didn't realize I loved you until it was too late. I'm so sorry. And that's being clarified by the butterfly, relationship evolving to the next phase, healing the inner child and growth. And then we have, I never told you the full truth about my childhood. It wasn't good, and I'm still trying to figure it out. Psh. I don't even feel like I need to pull any clarifiers on this one, tell you the truth. So it's almost like, that's it, we're done. And meeting somebody else, it was breakup, separation, realizing, right, somebody's wearing a mask here, or they're wearing the mask because they never fully finished processing something that happened in an early stage in their life, and they're allowing it to rear its head in the relationship, and they didn't realize that they loved you until it was too late, and them wanting to evolve the relationship into the next phase. So pretty clear here, my friends, for this week. Does seem like somebody's having feeling some remorse, some sense of remorse. So we could see what happens with that. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.